Second video here for the third lesson in Module 3. We're going to continue writing equations from, or writing quadratic equations from given situations here, and then answering those by solving them to find our answers and stuff like that. So a picture has a height that is 4/3 its width. It is to be enlarged so that the ratio of height to width remains the same, but the area is 192 square inches. What are the dimensions of the enlargement? Okay, so the height equals 4/3 times the width. Okay, and again we can say here we have a rectangular picture, okay, which here would be the height, this would be the width. Okay, and we're told again the height is 4/3 the width. And we're going to enlarge this picture, but the ratio here remains the same, and the area is 192 square inches. So what are the dimensions of the enlargement? Okay, so let's see here. What are we going to do? How are we going to set this up? Well, so the area of this rectangle, okay, is going to be 192 inches square, right? Square inches, and that's for the enlarged rectangle there. Okay. And that area is going to be found by multiplying height times width. Okay. But again, we know that height is 4/3 the width, so we could just say, whoops. Instead of h, we can just do 4/3 w times w, like that. So this gives us 4/3 w squared. Very easy quadratic for us to solve here. Not easy, sorry, but it's a simple quadratic. So how do we solve this? Well, let's get the w by itself. What's with the w that we can get rid of? The 4/3. So we'll divide both sides by 4/3. And we get w squared equals, and then what's 192 divided by 4/3? It's 144. Square root both sides, and we get w equals plus or minus 12. Again, in the context here, a negative 12 does not make sense, so we'll just get rid of that, and we'll say that 12 is the answer. Okay? So if w is 12, what does that mean h is? Well, we can use this formula right here and say that h is 4/3 times 12. And then 4/3 times 12 is going to be 16. So those are our two dimensions. Okay? All right, let's take a look at some of these exercises here. Solve the following problems. Be sure to indicate if a solution is to be rejected based on the contextual situation. The length of a rectangle is 4 centimeters more than 3 times the width. If the area of the rectangle is 15 centimeters squared, find the width. And then here, the ratio of the length to width in a rectangle is 2 to 3. Find the length of the rectangle, and the area is 150 inches squared. So why don't you guys go ahead, pause the video, try those two problems out. They're just like the two we just did. Okay, hopefully you took the time to pause the video and try them on your own. Again, this is how you get better, by trying to test yourself, as opposed to just sitting there and watching me and absorbing the information. Okay, in this case, we have the length is 4 centimeters more than 3 times the width. So we're not told anything about the width. So I'll just go ahead and say we have the width here, and we're just going to call that w. And instead of saying h here L for the length, let's go ahead and just say 4 centimeters more than 3 times the width. So 3 times the width plus 4, which makes this also 3 times the width plus 4. The area of the rectangle is 15 centimeters squared. So remember, area for a rectangle is length times width. And since our length is this and our width is this, we can just plug those in. So it'll be 3w plus 4 times w. And we know what our area is. We're told right there, 15 centimeters squared. So now we'll just solve. How though, right? Well, again, we need to multiply this out here because we want this to be equal to 0. All right, we would not go ahead and set this equal to 15 and set the W equal to 15. All right, there is no 15 product property. Yes, we have a product here, right? This is a product, but it's got to be equal to 0 over here, not 15. So we'll multiply this out. And we'll subtract 15 on both sides. So it's equal to 0. So now we'll have 3W squared plus 4W minus 15 equals 0. Now we factor, because we're equal to 0. And we're going to have to use the AC method, because again, that lead coefficient there is a 3, not a 1. So A times C is going to be 3 times negative 15, which is negative 45. Okay, we need two numbers that multiply negative 45 and add to make positive 4. So what's that going to be? It'll be 9, or negative 9 I should say, and positive 5. So let's factor here, 3W squared plus 9W, sorry, minus 9W, plus 5W minus 15 equals 0. Again, the 4W breaks up into the 9 and the 15 and the 5, I mean, from these two numbers we got here. Okay, and just group the first two and group the second two. In this first group, we can take out a 3W. So we're left with W minus 3. In the second group here, we can take out a 5. Left with W minus 3 as well. Take out the W minus 3's. Set each one of these equal to 0. So we get W equals 3 when we solve that, and we'll get W equals negative 5/3 when we solve that one. Okay, do both of these answers make sense in the context? Well, the answer is no, right? A negative 5/3 width here would not make sense, and so we're going to throw that one out, and so only the 3 centimeter width would make sense. All right, last one, number 2. So very similar to that other one we did prior to this exercise, or this one that we did right here. Okay, so length to width is in a rectangle is 2 to 3. So let's see here. So length to width is 2 over 3, which otherwise means if I multiply both sides by 3, that we'll have 3L over W equals 2, and multiply both sides by W, so we'll have 3L equals 2W. Okay, and let's see here. So length and width. Find the length of the rectangle when the area is 150 inches squared. So if we want to find the length, let's go ahead and rewrite width in terms of length. So let's see here. Let's solve this for W then. So we get W equals, I'll do it this way over here. So we get W equals 3 over 2L. So instead of writing this W right here, we can write 3 over 2L. It's the same thing as W. And now for the area, we'll just multiply. L times 3 over 2L equals 150. Which gives us 3 halves L squared equals 150. And now we'll just solve. Divide both sides by 3 halves. Okay, so we get L squared equals, and 150 divided by 3 halves is 100. Square root both sides, we get L equals plus or minus 10. Of course, we throw out the minus though, because it wouldn't make sense in the context of a negative length. So the length is 10 inches. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll catch up with the rest of these exercises in the next video.